Greetings, viewers!
Welcome back to another episode of this TENNPOD. Today, we have a couple of new arrows for you.
That was good, right?
I don't know. We'll find out.
So you've hit both of these, the Aero 100, the Aero 98. In the past, you've been an Aero 98 stan.
I have been a stan. I've also been a hater, and it really depends on the week for me. So far, what I'd say is I like the new style. I think I like the old one maybe a little bit more to look at, but this is not offensive, and I do really like some of the details. I like the spray-on arrow look.
That one got paint chipped, or one of these got paint chipped. Just sitting in my bag.
Unbelievable.
Just sitting in my bag.
Now, do you think that's a pre-production paint quality issue, or is that going to be a problem for people if they buy it retail?
Oh, it's got 2 paint chips.
That is outrageous. Overall, I found both of these to be pretty hard to use for me, to be honest. I found them to be quite boingy. Very, very, very powerful frames, both of them. But
I will stop you there and say, when you tried them, they were both strung with Grapple Snake Alpha. And the first day Mitch and I hit with them was outside. It was like 8 degrees out.
Which munches strings.
And I think the fact that it's cold, we were hitting with kind of wet balls because the court wasn't dry. That's pretty tough on strings, and that led to pretty significant tension loss by the time you had hit it. Because later that day, Mitch was whining like crazy about this.
Okay, so there is still some hitting to be done before I come up with a final opinion on it, but I do think, I felt it in the last generation even with fresh strings, but I felt it even more with this frame. I put it to you, I said it has VTEC.
It's got VTEC, yeah.
In the sense that there is like a threshold of speed that you hit the ball with that completely changes the behavior of the racket, and it engages sort of this extra gear that it has in it, and it gives you an insane amount of power. And if you're not super good at tennis, like I'm not, it can be a little bit hard to adjust to. It's almost like when you're in a single turbo car back in the day and it just spools up all of a sudden and you're just like, whoa, what the heck was that? So I think overall, honestly, my first sensation is that it might be too good of a racket for me, but we're going to keep hitting them. Beckett, what do you think about the new Pure Aero so far?
Yeah, so the change in the frame geometry, it still feels like an arrow, and they both still play like arrows and swing like arrows, but the hitting feel, I think, is quite a bit more rewarding than the last one. The last one, both the 100 and the 98 in the normal versions, not the Rafas, so like the black and gray paint job, which, to be frank, I prefer the old one to the new one.
Mm-hmm.
Like the gloss, and I like when Bablats have 2-tone stripes. I think there's just a little bit more to the sweet spot.
That's an interesting point. I never noticed that. These are things I wouldn't notice, but I kind of like the 2-tone stripes as well.
The 2-tone stripes is cool. The sweet spot is almost crunchy to me, or like it doesn't quite have the exotic grape pop.
No.
It doesn't, but it has a little bit more.
It has something.
Of like a nice chew compared to the old one, which was just like, it almost like eating peanut brittle in the way that would kind of just snap off.
I see what you're saying.
Whereas the new one is like almost like if an E-zone is like a Hubba Bubba, like a fresh Hubba Bubba that's still nicely chewy.
Yeah.
This has a little bit more of that.
It's been worked a bit.
Yeah, they've worked it a bit.
Okay. So when can the review come out? When can people expect a full detailed analysis on the Pure Aero?
I'm going on vacation next week for a whole week.
You're lazy.
Yeah. So I'm doing as much hitting as I can this week and a crap ton of work to have videos ready for you next week. But those videos will not be those arrows. As Simon and I have both not instantly gelled with either of these rackets, that to me means that we need to spend more time with them to iron out the kinks. I think the Aero 98, I need to replace the base grip, put on something lighter. Syntec
You thought it was too heavy, right?
It's quite heavy.
Yeah.
as a base grip, so I can take some weight out of the racket that way, and that might add a little bit of whippiness back into the fray. I think moving to this Otoro Tour Sync Hybrid was a good step today when I hit it with Luca this morning. And then, on the other hand, I think the 100 needs some more weight because it was like low 280 unstrung swing weight.
So does that explain why it felt so unstable when I was returning your serve?
Yeah, so you had issues on return later when I played a set, which I will post. The set that we played is already up for members, and the set that I played later with Mitch will go up soon. Will probably be up by the time this podcast is out, and you'll be able to see Simon and I shanking returns like absolute demons.
Apologies in advance if you haven't watched it. It's pretty poor quality tennis, but it's still for your viewing pleasure.
There are some questions about the Aero that you guys left very kindly on our Instagram. So I don't know if this is going to be a regular thing, but I thought questions on Instagram ready to go. First up, we've got Winners Only Tennis. Is Litos using the new mold? Carl.
He
isn't.
No, there's nobody's actually going to switch to this racket.
I don't think
but
we're
everybody's going to be
year.
using the paint job immediately, aren't they?
Yes, everyone's using the paint job. You can see that like there's grommet details towards the lower throat that is very different from the old one to the new one. That's your obvious giveaway, and then the throat dimensions so different. I think it's quite surprising that Babolat made that change, given that I feel like a big selling feature with the Aero 98 was that's Carlos's legit racket.
How many majors does he need to lose to Sinner in a row before he considers switching to the new frame?
2?
I think 2 is probably a good number.
Yeah.
I think maybe even 1.
Yeah.
At this point, he's making a lot of changes in his life right now. This guy might be ready. No.
Which actually, I bet you they have a deal. They're just trading.
I guarantee he's trying it to see what he thinks. I guarantee he's trying it, but
oh yeah, for sure.
It might not happen right away.
But why change when you're
the best in the world?
Number 1, right?
He's the best in the world.
Patrick Silviera Sendic asks, how does it compare to the previous version? I think we discussed that pretty well. Like it's a little bit softer feeling, not quite as firm, which basically leads me to the next question by Zeg Zero. The Comfort.
I think it's a lot more comfortable.
Way more.
I think my shoulder didn't feel like it was going to fall off after I hit, which is an issue that I had with the last gen, certainly. I think these both felt pretty comfortable. Maybe a little bit too plush, but TBD with some more firm
I think
strings.
we need to put firmer strings in. Alpha was a little bit too soft. I think the hitting feels quite a bit more comfortable, quite a bit less jarring off center, which is going to be important. But the 98 specifically, ours, is still quite heavy. So it's a lot of racket to do the kind of pronation on your forehand with. So that could still cause some elbow stress.
It does genuinely feel like a racket that would suit Litos's game, though.
Oh, 100%. It still has the same swing feel and general identity as the previous one. So I think if you're wanting to switch to the new model, like you'll still feel pretty at home. Another question. Feedback. ... Contact feel. Raymond Kabara wants to know, is it still tinny-ish like the current 98?
You really made a meal out of that question.
It doesn't. It feels way more mushy. Ricebowl.18. How does it compare to the 305S in terms of feel? The old Aero is closer to the 305S in terms of feel than the new one. The new one is closer to like the E-zone, as you would expect from the throat shape. T-fight.
Okay, I was going to ask, is that a T-fight? I think they feel completely different.
Yeah, they feel quite different. They play different. I think they're 4 different players at the end of the day. The last gens, more comparable than the current gens. Agree, disagree?
Totally agree.
And finally, Avila Pando 1192. Pingy sound gone? In brackets. How does it sound?
I translated that for him in brackets.
You could have just said pingy. No. Pingy sound gone. Okay. Here's one thing that I think might be under-repped. If you were a person who demoed the Aero 98 and it had RPM Blast in it as my Original Aero was sent with ancient, worn-out RPM blast. Yes, it's going to be tinny and terrible, but I don't find this to be a pingy racket.
That is not what I remembered it being.
No, put a dampener on if you don't like the ping, or restring and put like good strings in there, and I think you should be fine. I don't think there's really any pingy frames.
Way to put RPM blast on blast there, Beckett.
As it's deserved.
Okay, so I quickly want to talk about the Australian Open first round because Beckett has watched every single match and he has tons of thoughts, right, Beckett?
Yep, so I've been staying up all night. Not true. I watched, while stringing a racket, I sort of watched Hugo Shelton, which from my understanding is one of the more impressive first rounders.
That was an amazing win. Okay, I want to talk about that later, but that was an amazing win. I thought that was a massively difficult first round, one of the most unlucky draws.
That was one of our ones to watch in a pod that was never released.
We looked like absolute fools, so I decided to just pull it. Andy Roddick's doing amazing things talking about the Australian Open. We don't need to rehash that. But the first thing I want to talk about is Naomi Osaka.
Oh.
The outfit. Look at this. This is the reaction of someone who doesn't get it, and everyone doesn't get it.
You get it.
I get it. Listen, this is a spectacle sport. It is supposed to be entertainment first. You're supposed to make statements. Was her outfit amazing? I didn't find it amazing. I don't quite understand what's going on.
Really? Because it looks like something right out of your closet.
It's so low effort by her, and it's everything everyone is talking about. She is going to get deal after deal after deal from this. I think
she's the highest paid female athlete.
She's got 3 million followers on Instagram. She is the most famous tennis player, arguably, on earth, even though she hasn't really had a ton of results in the last 5 years, I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
She's like an autistic, quiet girl who hates talking to people. All she needs to do is put on a crazy outfit to get people to talk about her. That's how low the bar is in tennis. Osaka gets it, and I like it. I am fully in support of that outfit choice. I'm fully in support of the drama that she's creating, everything she's trying to do to work her personality into the tennis match, which is so difficult to do because you have no control over so many of the variables in comparison to other sports. I loved it. I hope she keeps doing it.
Let me hit the other side of the coin here. So I think a lot of people's issue with this outfit and her previous fashion attempts is that it doesn't feel like it is a true representation of her personality, because the Naomi that we see in the press conferences is not the person who wants all the eyes in the stadium on her because she's looking crazy. Does she wear the outfits well? 100%. Are they interesting outfits? 100%. But do they feel like an authentic representation of her as we know her?
I think that's ridiculous, though. Who else is doing this? Nobody else is doing this. That means it's not being pushed by anyone but her. She's the one demanding these things.
There's a lot of room for someone else to come in and be a more of their authentic self that would be more easily connectable and relatable.
Sure. And if they want to do that, the bar is on the floor.
The bar
is looking like a
green.
piece of seaweed in a dress before you get onto the tennis court. That's where it is. But she's the only one doing it. And
Did you see Naomi's thing? Did you see Osaka's thing?
No. You should look it up right now, and then we're going to get your opinion on it. We're going to get a woman's opinion on Osaka's dress, which is besides the point. The point is she's the only one that understands making statements matter. There are no guarantees in pro sports, except for that those with the biggest name make the biggest buck.
Not like...
Out of 10, Sierra.
I see the reference. Out of 10, I'm going to give it a 7.
A 7 out of 10 is not
That's
bad.
not bad.
She's doing something.
What is a 5? Is 5 neutral?
I want you to look up Taylor Fritz Australian Open 2026 outfit and grade them based on each other.
Is his bad?
I don't even remember what his is. I don't care. They're all the same.
No, Sinners is bad. Have you seen it?
We don't want a bad one. We just want standard stock tennis bullshit. Okay? Everybody looks like you're speaking of manufactured, inauthentic stuff. They're putting on cookie cutter, copy and paste bullshit constantly. The outfits are in a dire state. The only guy who
Carlos's
looked
look
good, there was one Italian guy who looked quite good, Cabali or something like that.
Look at this like mustard poo color.
The mud. What are they doing to Sinner? Sinner's had several completely terrible outfits,
Look
I feel
at
like,
that.
recently. It's just been horrible. Anyways, Sierra is in support of Osaka's outfit. That's what really matters.
No, but she grunted negatively at it.
No, that was Fritz's outfit, I believe.
No, you...
That was Fritz's outfit.
Latest grunt was Fritz's.
Oh, okay.
Listen, all I'm saying is tennis, you can be doing so much more if you're a pro tennis player to get your name out there, to become someone that people care about, because you have no control over your draw. You have very limited control over your ability to get sponsorship deals. Otherwise, like, take advantage
It's
of what you
time
can.
to take notes from the guy head to toe and lucid. All right, moving on.
Moving on. Okay, I want to talk about a few matches quickly. I know no one cares, but Bublik Brooksby was a pretty disappointing first round for
Yeah.
me. I thought Boob did exactly what you thought he was going to do, which was just control things.
Business. He
Brooksby's
was businessman.
Brooksby's serve just simply is not good enough to play someone
No.
who is genuinely amazing as an attacking player. Bublik just ate it up. He took the first serve off every set and continued on from
We
there.
might get to meet Brooksby.
That would be insane, dude.
Let us know if you have any questions you want to ask us to ask Jensen, because there might be an opening. We don't know, but there might be.
I would be so thrilled. That would be genuinely one of the best moments ever.
Yeah.
Next up, I just wanted to quickly touch on Teen's win over Giron, because we've talked about Teen before. I thought that was a really tough matchup for Teen as well.
100%.
They're sort of mirror image players of each other, and it was really interesting to watch them play because they're both such flat hitters, I feel like. It made for a lot more errors than you're used to from both sides, but it drew out really, really long. I feel like Giron's serve was actually putting him in more advantageous positions overall. Of course, he lost the first set in a tiebreak, won the next two sets, and was up a break in the fourth. And then Teen's just ability to keep fighting completely broke Giron down. His legs disappeared.
And he's got some of the biggest legs on tour.
He does, and Teen just fought through it. I was really impressed with Teen's ability to fight through there, and I'm excited to see where he goes from here. Next up, we have a few questions. Beckett, do we have a sponsorship for the fan questions?
Today's fan questions
Is it Lucid?
Today's fan questions are brought to you by the Lucid Gravity Employee Jacket.
Yes, and Mitch specifically for getting this to me.
And also playing tennis with me,
And there we go.
which he doesn't have to do.
First question, cool_awesome_dude asks, Tennis Nerd is now part of Steph's entourage. Which pro's entourage are you trying to join? Every crew needs a racket guy, of course.
So here's the question.
Mhm.
Are we on the same entourage, or are we on competing entourages?
You and I, or
Yeah.
us and Tennis Nerd?
You and I.
Oh, no. I think you and I serve completely different
That's what I'm
segments of the
thinking.
player. I
Because
think
your
answer's
your
pretty
racket
obvious.
knowledge
Yeah.
for the right player could just take him up.
I think my simplistic takes on rackets could really, if told in my general confident voice, be a boon to their mental health. I could just say things that make absolutely no sense to anyone with a modicum of knowledge, but if I just say it in a really compact, meaningful way, now I'm thinking maybe I should be Steph's racket coach, actually. He would eat that up.
He does need a little bit more of a foot down. Jonas, we love him,
Yeah,
especially me.
but he's a waffler.
He's not a foot down man.
He's a waffler, and so are you, to be fair.
But anyway, we discussed this in private, and we agree that the answer is Holgerune.
Here's how it's going to go. Allie is going to be the actual tennis coach. Beckett is going to be the equipment manager, and I am going to be the mental coach. It's obvious that Holger needs to, as he comes back onto the tour, completely revamp his team. Who better than us to take him to the next level?
No one.
No one's better.
Simply no one.
Allie teaches him whatever you need, the little details like how to
He's already
do
good.
tennis.
He just needs a woman to yell at
It's
him.
fine. You figure out which racket he needs, which would be
His current racket's good.
His current racket's good. That's solved right there.
Yep.
You can just string. And I am the mental coach. And I think for his comeback, he needs to really start instilling an alpha dog mentality. I'm going to make him really start confronting players in the locker room almost immediately. 5 sets of heckling his opponents as they go by. Anyone ranked higher than him, I want him to insult them vociferously. I think that's going to go over well.
Masculinity should be heavily targeted.
Absolutely. If he can study their parents' rooms to make it seem like he's been there before, all the better. I think we'd take him to the next level, no problem.
We both frankly believe that there is not enough killer be killed mentality on the tour.
No, too much waffling, too much apathy.
These hugging at nets.
Nope.
It's stupid.
FAA's too nice, and we need to move on from that.
All right.
Next up,
we've got a very tough question here from capital M Merlin 481. What's Simon's UTR? Do you even know what UTR is?
Well, first real question is on which day?
Technically, this is look-upable.
Right.
But
do I
need an
have a
account.
UTR?
You probably do because you've played tournaments.
Ooh. It's probably bad.
Probably bad.
It's probably like a 5. We're going to edit this out while we look it up. I'm a 5.xx. What's that mean? With a 36% reliability.
Your
Oh, no,
dubs
I'm a
is good.
6.xx.
That's dubs.
Oh, that's
that
dubs.
sings.
We need to pick this up, don't we? A low 4.0.
No, that's actually...
That's pretty accurate.
That's not
to be
that
honest.
inaccurate for your tournament play specifically.
No.
Joe is a 6, damn.
Joe's a 6,
Yeah.
and I lost... Oh, I lost in tiebreaks.
That guy was a 6 also. You could beat both of them, but...
Joe's a 6. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm an 8 based
You know what
on
my
that, but I
all-time
lost.
high is?
What?
9.
Holy shit. What's Trey's right now? Trey's like a 7, isn't he? 7! Why does it say .xx?
Because you got to pay.
Oh.
His last match he lost. Loser.
Okay. So my answer, Merlin, is I am a UTR 5 with a 30% reliability.
36%.
36% reliability. And I'd argue that I could be worse than that on any given day.
I'd argue you generally, that is your floor, actually.
Yeah, well, you never know. Next up, the 4.0 guy. Will Simon have the decency to wear head tennis clothes, shoes, racket, and bag to match his speed racket? Or will he continue to look like a winner's fashion victim in 2026? That is hurtful.
Is this better than his winner's only garb?
I think he's just saying winners like the company. I don't know. Is he saying winners only?
I assumed that, but here's the funny thing. The winners around here in the sportswear is like 80% head.
There we go. I only wear clothes that are gifted to me. I do not shop for clothes. It is the bane of my existence. So if any of you want to dress me, send me some clothes to...
He's a size medium.
Oh, God. If you really want to see some skin. Next up, we have Nicholas Abrams, 9164. Who are your guys' favorite players to watch on tour other than the big 2? Beckett?
Pick 3 or what?
Let's do
How
3.
many am I supposed to pick? All right. Well,
In order.
right now, because of the resurgence, Bublik. Can't miss a Bublik match. I do quite like watching Musetti. And third would be Ben Shelton.
That's electric, except you've picked 2 guys that I would pick, Ben Shelton and Bublik. I'm going to try and work around that. I'm going to go...
We should have alternated.
Yeah, probably. I'm going to go number 1. I love watching Brooksby. I wasn't lying about that. Some people thought I was being sarcastic. Oh, dear. But he is so much fun to watch. Number 2 for me...
I watched him live.
I hate you. Shut up.
And he won.
Number 2, I would pick Medvedev. I love watching Medvedev play. you're starting to see a theme in who I like. Just absolute dogs of.
You like to watch what you want to be.
I like to watch what I want to be, and I like Medvedev's style. I would love to play like Medvedev. I love watching him play. Number 3. That's tough. There's so many guys. I love watching
I like
tennis.
watching Zverev against Fritz.
I love watching Fritz. Fritz is a great play.
Fritz is great because, like, okay, the points are a lot of the time kind of boring because they're pretty fast, but he's a great example of, like, how to maximize your tools and be smart.
Mm-hmm. His selection is second to none, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I said he had medium to okay footwork, and people ate me alive. I still stand by that. I don't think he's the fastest guy on tour.
He's not the fastest.
He's not the
guy.
slowest.
I
but
think
he's not
his
the
footwork
fastest.
is deliberate and relatively efficient.
Yeah.
I think the main thing that you see with Fritz that makes him look weird is, like, he can't get his base that wide. I don't know if his, like, hips are really narrow.
Mm-hmm. But he is one of the most meticulous guys. He's one of the guys that I feel most confident. You ask him what his strategy is for every match, and he is going to have something for you.
Yeah.
He's going to say he's not going to tell you because he doesn't want to spoil it, but he is a guy that's
He's
thinking
also,
on court.
in the rare occasion that the press asks a good question in the post-match press conference about, like, the strategy of the match or looking for more intricate details on the game, he gives such great answers that in a lot of ways remind me of the way that Milos thought about the game.
Yeah. Yeah, they do have a similar vibe about them.
Yeah.
They're kind of...
It's business.
Yes,
It's
is
business.
for them.
It's about the serve and the forehand, and getting the other guy off.
And they're both kind of quiet, shelled guys. They don't clearly like being super exuberant
Like,
in what
they're
they say.
efficient.
But once you get it out of them,
Yeah.
once they start getting excited about it, they have a hard time stopping talking about it too, which I do enjoy. So we'll put him to the side. I think third, I really like watching Jack Draper, actually, when he's on.
Oh, yeah.
He is super exciting.
If he's playing.
If he's playing.
Yeah,
he's going
he's
through
great.
injury battles.
Same with Rune. Rune is especially exciting because it's a real what am I going to get today?
Yeah. And we'll bring this up later, but Fonseca, same thing. Fonseca, when he's on, with the fans that he brings, very, very exciting guy to watch. Last up, we have Cool
I
Awesome
wanna
Dude
read it.
again.
I want to read this one bad.
And he's been banned from the channel after this.
Hi, Beckett and Beckett's friend. Which pros do you think are clear candidates for racket changes? Should all pros switch to the Aero 98? Yes.
Excellently put.
Really, I think Fritz could use something a little more forgiving. Especially not when he's beating regular guys, but when he's up against the best two players in the world. I just feel like he gets bullied around a little bit, and I would like something that helps him out a little bit more. That'd be my number one.
What does he actually use?
He uses Enegra or IG, so like 2011-ish, I think. Radical MP.
Does it play anything similar to the Radicals of today?
Not too far off. Like, it's lighter. I think he's added a little bit of weight, but not a ton. Like, his coach, Michael Russell, uses a very powerful, extra long lead tape in the hoop Slinko blackout. And so I've heard that he's tried to push Taylor into something a little bit more forgiving, but Fritz is basically using a near stock 295 gram, 95 square inch, 18 by 20 frame.
That's kind of insane.
Yeah.
Well, Cool Awesome Dude, you're on my hit list now,
And
but
you're
thank you
on
for the
my
question.
Santa's good list.
And last up, we have one fan debate because we didn't want to make this too long, but Joao Fizaz Vital says the third player to enter the conversation will be Fonseca for sure. Now, I know he went out first round, but he's going through some serious back issues.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Do you know anymore?
Yeah, he almost pulled out of the Australian Open.
He shouldn't have even played.
He probably
it's
shouldn't
bad
have.
for his rep.
He looked pretty bad, too. He clearly was not 100%. But I'm still not 100% sold on the Fonseca being the next guy. I think we're going to have to see a lot of development from him, specifically on just general control against the opponent's serve. I think he is very, very strong once he's on the front foot. Once his serve is kind of created those opportunities, he really has an electric ability to close points emphatically. You do see some defensive maneuvers where he comes up with spectacular things, but the general mundanity of turning a 40% to 60% into a 50-50 or 60-40 for him, I don't think he does a good enough job at that currently.
I think as he grows and his legs develop a little more, he'll find a little bit better strength just in his legs and moving side to side and building points that way. I think if you look at his numbers, he's right up there with the top guys in terms of results for his age. Still.
That's true.
Like he's only had one full
He's
year on
super young.
tour, and
He's
he
super
won
young.
2 titles.
Yeah, but I still think he's currently at least 2 years away.
Oh, yeah.
Probably
He's
3
the
to
same
4
thing
for
as
me.
Sinner, I think, where it's going to take time for his body to develop and for him to kind of find that ability to really stay in the point and grind things out. Sinner
agree.
was really trigger happy early in his career, too.
He was trigger happy. He had no variation. He had a serve that was sort of a liability, and Cahill came in and said, I don't care what we're doing. We're fixing your serve. It doesn't matter if it sucks even worse now. We're going to make it better. And he said, come to the net. And you could see him. He lost so many. Every time he came to the net, he lost a point,
like
but he
a
kept
full
doing
year.
it. He kept trusting the process. And now look at him. He's unbelievable. He's got drop shots. He's got
And
volleys.
Cahill has spoken about how Sinner is willing to take a few steps back for a big run forward.
So hopefully Joao can do that because I would
Yeah.
love him to be the
And
third guy.
I think what we need is the same thing that Fed said, is like Fonseca can be there, but he needs to not to try to just be there. He needs to go for number 1 and be the best, and he has to be willing to do the suffering that we have heard Nadal and Djokovic talk about how important being able to suffer is.
100%. And that's all we got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Keep watching the Australian Open. If you are, let us know who you think is going to win. It's obviously probably going to be one of 2 people, but
Yep.
whatever. And then let me know what you think of Osaka's outfit. I'm curious to see what your general take is
And we're
because I
also
think our
taking
fans are a little
more
different.
questions, and we need more angry debates.
We do need more angry debates, accusations, and general roasts of my aesthetic, which is, as always, terrible. Thank you for watching.